Welcome back to Lucy Sparks Pilates, and thank you for choosing to spend 15 minutes out of your day to mobilize and stretch with me. You don't need any equipment for this Pilates routine, just your mat and yourself. Start off on your hands and knees, and we're going to ripple through some cat-cow stretches from head to tailbone. So start by tucking your head in, rounding your upper back, then your lower back, then tucking your tailbone under. And then reversing tailbone, starting to poke up towards the ceiling, dropping through the lower back, upper back, and lifting the head. And again from the head, rounding the spine down to the tailbone. And from the tailbone, extending the spine up to the head. Now let's go in the other direction, so tuck the tailbone under first, round through the spine up to the upper back and head and neck. Now lift the head, drop through the upper back, drop through the lower back and lift the tailbone. Once more through from the tailbone first, getting that lovely rippling action through the spine. And last one from the head, finishing at the tailbone. Let's just rock a little bit from side to side in this extended spine. And now in the rounded spine, just doing any movements you like, just to loosen out any of those tight areas in your back. And finally going into a few circular cat-cow stretches, so move your spine around in a big circle, getting as far in each direction as you can. Just slowly breathing through. It doesn't matter which ankles you go through here, whatever feels good for you. Now let's change direction. Beautiful. And again, just keep circling round or rippling through, or any other angle that feels good for you. The aim of today is to just get our body moving in as many directions as possible to mobilize through each and every joint and loosen our muscles. So let's move on to the hips. Step your right foot forward outside of your right hand. And take the foot a little bit further forward than the knee. Come on upright, tuck your tailbone under. Press your hips forward as you raise your arms up and slightly lean back to really open up your left hip flexor. Then place your hands down on the inside of that right foot, lift your left knee up off the floor, and then press both legs as straight as possible. The main stretch here is in your right hamstring, so the back of that right thigh. You can pull your toes up off the floor of that right foot if you want to make the stretch even bigger. Bend the knee down, let's go back to that hip flexor stretch. Lift the arms up, really press the hips forward and down. Place the hands down inside that foot, tuck your toe under at the back, lift up the left knee and press your right knee as straight as possible, pulling the toes up towards your shin. Just breathe in this stretch. Bend that right knee down and lift your right arm up to the ceiling now. Nice big rotation through the spine, opens up the hips even more. Place the hand down and lift the left arm up. Little bit of a trickier stretch this one for the hips. Place the hand back down and let's see if we can bring our forearms down or as close as possible to the floor. Come on back up on your hands and we'll repeat those 3 stages. Right arm up first. We're aiming to really open up the pelvis here. Change arms, left arm up and twist, look up at that hand. Place the hand down and we go down as close to the forearms as possible. Try your best to keep that left knee straight. And don't worry about if your forearms don't quite reach the floor. We're now going to shuffle our right foot across the mat to drop into our pigeon stretch. So lower your left knee down onto the floor. And if you want to increase that stretch, all you need to do is lean forward onto your forearms. You should be able to feel this stretch around your right hip and glute. Let's just breathe into that stretch. Okay, let's slowly ease out of the stretch and drop down onto your front. Coming into a cobra stretch, so place your hands on the floor, press your arms up straight to extend your back. Slowly lower down. Let's repeat that once more, but if this stretch is quite a lot for your back, to make it gentler, just rest on your forearms rather than pushing up onto your hands. Lower back down. We're going to come up onto our knees, stick the tailbone right up to the ceiling, press the shoulders down onto the floor with straight arms. From here, let's ripple through into the cobra again. And pull the hips back, stick the tailbone up, press the shoulders down. And again, rippling through to the cobra stretch. We're really getting that extension through the spine and drawing the hips back. Rippling through again. Shine the chest up to the ceiling. And if you want to just shift side to side here as well, if that feels good for your body, go for it. And rest there. Let's go through our left leg now. So place your left foot slightly in front of your left knee, tuck your tailbone underneath, raise your arms and press those hips forward to open up your right hip flexor, the leg that's at the back. Placing your hands down onto the floor, tuck the right toe underneath, lift the right knee, and press that left knee out as straight as possible, chest down to your thigh, and pull your toes up to your shin. We're stretching our left hamstring here. Bend that right knee back down, back to our hip flexor stretch. Arms up, press the hips forward, open up the space. And then again, place those hands down onto the floor, lift up the right knee and straighten both legs as much as possible. Bend that left knee down. We're now going to lift our left arm up to the ceiling and twist. Try your best to keep your right leg straight and press your hips down to really open up through the pelvis. And change arms, right arm coming up now. Left hand is inside the left foot. This is where we're now going to try and bring the forearms either onto the floor or just as low as possible. And let's repeat all of those once more. Left arm up first. Rotate up to the ceiling. Change the arm. Right arm up. Keep opening up the pelvis. And forearms down. Breathe here. In and out. in and out. And finishing up these hips with our pigeon stretch. So we're going to move our left foot across to the right side of the mat, drop the knee down at the back, and then make that stretch bigger by leaning forward onto your forearms if possible. You should feel that stretch in your left glute or just generally around that left hip. Fantastic. Okay, let's ease back out of that stretch. Now, coming up into a plank on your hands and feet, step your feet forward outside your hands and drop down into the deepest squat you can do. Ideally, place your elbows inside your knees, hands into a prayer position so they can gently push your knees outwards. And just breathe in that deep squat. We're opening up the hips and the lower back. Sit down onto the floor and shuffle backwards slightly so that you can straighten out your legs. Stretch your arms up, rotate to the left, reach your right hand outside of your left ankle. Lift the left arm up to the ceiling and look up at that hand so you're twisting through your spine. Breathe in as you come both arms up to the center. Breathe out, stretch the left arm outside of that right foot, reach as far as you can, the right arm is up. Breathe in, lengthening up tall, and breathe out, reach both hands down towards your feet. Hold that forward fold. Slowly roll back up to sitting and again reach your arms up. Forward fold again. Bring your nose slightly closer towards your knees this time if possible. Slowly release and roll up through the spine. Reach the arms up. And again, reaching forward, both arms, nose towards your knees. 3, 2, 1. Come on back up and relax. Let's transition now onto the hands and knees for a little bit of thoracic spine rotation, so your upper back. Let's take the right arm up to the ceiling, twist, look up at your hand, and then thread that arm underneath the other. Bend your left elbow and try and rest your right arm onto the floor. Breathe in, stretch the arm up to the ceiling. And breathe out, rotate your upper back around and reach the right arm underneath. You should be able to feel this stretch across your upper to middle back. Let's change arms now. Left arm up to the ceiling. Threading down underneath. Breathing in, stretch up, rotate your chest upwards. And breathing out, thread under, try and rest your left arm down onto the floor, bending your right arm. And come on back to the middle. To open up the upper back a bit more, let's stretch the arms really far forward and place your hands together. Drop your elbows down, press your shoulders down, and lift your tailbone up to the ceiling. Now getting your elbows very narrow into the sides of your head, keep your elbows down, and let's now bend the elbows to reach the hands behind your head. This is going to deepen the thoracic spine stretch, but also put some stretch on the triceps. Just breathe in that position. Try pushing your body weight back a little bit more to press your armpits down towards the floor. Last breath. Slowly release the arms and send your hips down onto your feet to come upright. Place your hands behind your head and lift your chest up to the ceiling, and then round your spine down. Close your elbows together. Breathe in, open the elbows out, lift up the chest, and breathe out, round the upper back, draw the elbows together. Breathe in, lift the chest, extend the spine. Breathe out, round the spine, elbows together. Last two. Breath in, chest up, fill your lungs with oxygen. Breathe out, round the spine down, close the elbows. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out, lower. To finish, let's extend the arms up. And as you breathe out, slowly bring your arms down. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this, remember to subscribe and like the video, and leave a comment down below of anything else that you'd love to cover. And I'll see you next time.